Yeah, unfortunately, the report hasn't helped much.
Really?
Because we know that whenever a helicopter is going to crash, it's going to... What was the psychological framework of the pilots at the time that they were using the aircraft?
Would they know?
They should, because they'll be talking to families, they'll be talking to their doctors, they'll be talking to people. They should know. You see, so it is technical, but the good people of Ghana they are not interested in those technical jargons. Because they want to, even if you are saying there was a sudden loss of altitude, you have not told us what caused the loss of altitude. Was it a mechanical fault or was it a human error? You get it? They have not told us what conversation problem might have transpired. Some of them could be security issue they may want to go, but there was the black box I'm told was recovered.
Yeah.
Nothing in the report has made reference
to what was contained in the black box.
Because the pilot probably would have said that due to A, B, C, D, were experiencing some turbulence, maybe raise up your seat belts and whatever. All that would give the good people of Ghana an insight as to what problems transfer. Remind you, I'm making this point, and sternly so, because the loss of those particular lives was actually something that was a huge blow. And in a year, apart from this stampede, that is the first. Imagine if I were a member of the family, even as a friend and as a colleague, I'm wondering whether this report will make me go to sleep knowing what might have caused the death of my friend. With the grace of God, I don't think the report is enough to tell the good people of Ghana, to tell families that my husband, my brother died because of sudden loss of altitude or a downward draft. And that downward draft was caused by what? Again, they have mentioned in the report that, you see, there were certain state-of-the-art security features that probably were absent in the
helicopter,
or in the helicopter, that probably did not give the institutional awareness of what they were going through. They need to tell us, so that when we are approving even the helicopter they want to buy, we want to be sure whether there are those security
features are in there.
Even as a lay person, right? Because we'll be guided by this history. We will know that, okay, this accident that happened, we will at all times be asking questions, because, like my senior colleague said, we need to learn from experience. So when an issue of this nature is presented to you as a committee to investigate, go beyond the technicalities and simplify the report and answer the lingering question of everyday Ghanaian, the man on the street. What are their concerns? What they knew is that a helicopter crashed and their loved ones perished. That is what they know. They will want to know, okay, like I said, no helicopter will crash without losing altitude. That is common. That is commonsensical, right? But what would have caused the loss of altitude is what the investigation should center on. And I think that maybe aspects of the report, with the grace of God,
it will be the weather, obviously.
Yes, I've not read the full report, so I will want to give them the benefit. But I think that in giving the updates to the good people of Ghana, they ought to focus on those, because those are the things that we are interested in. If it's the weather, let us know, okay, like you said, like your friend mentioned, it's a good reason why maybe a investigation is not concluded. Because investigation is not concluded. Because I think that this may be a preliminary report. And my expectation, beyond what has been presented, because there are still questions. Like I said, the social part of it, every single person on the flight would have to be profiled if we are serious. Every single person, the activities of the people before the event, the activities of the people, even sometimes, even a month to the event. That is why a serious investigation will have to focus on. That the manifest included some people, those people they came into contact with, what were their mental states as of the time that they were even engaged in this. Then we then come to the flight. But for now, they are only focusing on the aircraft. And even with the helicopter. And even with the helicopter, they are not telling us, there are many questions than answers. They are not even telling us, okay, sudden loss of altitude. What caused the loss of altitude? Was it a mechanical fault with the flight? Was it an issue of the weather? Was it an issue of human error? We will need those answers so that even in our attempt to learn, we would put all that in our experiences and learn from them. With the grace of God, we have some insight now. That insight, to me, is what I already know.
Yeah.
Even as a layman, because a helicopter will not crash without losing altitude. Okay, so I need to know more in order to inform whether or not we can learn from this experience. But like I said, this should not bring closure to the matter. We should not think that we can go to sleep. I agree that part of the government effort, so that means that it met the minimum standard to be used in our airspace. That's just the conclusion of it. That the helicopter met the minimum standard to be used. So the purchase of helicopters is not a solution, or is not a solution to avert what has happened. It will support, I agree, but it is not a solution to avert, and we shouldn't use the death of this innocent, these gallant Ghanaians to say we are buying helicopters, because the purchase of helicopters is not the solution, because the report itself says that the helicopter was airworthy, it was serviceable. So it means that we can even buy the same helicopters, new helicopters, and we'll still have the incidents.
Yeah, but the committee strongly...
But I'm saying that recommendation are consequential. It was serviceable, though it would have been good that it has certain state-of-the-art security features, which it didn't have. They fell short of telling us what those security features were. Even if they mention that we may not understand, but we will appreciate that they did a thorough work. They're again telling us that, government should ensure retooling and modernizing our air fleet. I agree that as part of the whole...
The recommendations thereof from the report.